Hello, everyone. Ah, so insane. Okay, I'm gonna give you all just a minute to pop on. I feel like this is a little blurry, sorry. What did you guys think of the episode? Just gonna give you guys a few minutes before I start talking about all the crazy things that happened. Let me know if you can hear. I have a fan on. Let me know if there's too much background noise, like if you can't hear me very well. Say hello as you're popping on so that I can see that you're here. Before we start talking about the episode, I'm just going to give everyone a couple minutes. Hi, deranged lunatic. Yeah, she, you know, I felt for her for about 2 seconds. I was like, man, how would that feel to have everyone surrender and to have that justice that you feel like you need ripped away from you? And I felt for her for just like a few seconds. And then when she chose to just burn fucking everyone to the ground, I was like, okay, all right, I'm not into you anymore at all. Like, that was fucking awful. It really was. It really was. Okay. Just gonna go back and read through the comments. And thank you for doing is that like a donating for the top comment? I'm confused. I don't know how that works. But thank you, deranged lunatic. Hi, Cameron. Hi, Maritza. You know what, Maritza? I think I'm agreeing. That final moment with Arya, she had what, like the last like 5 minutes of the show, and I found it really interesting that it was so like slow motion, and she saw the horse, and I felt like in that moment I was missing something. Like there was a very big significance that I was just not catching what they're pitching. But I think that you're right. I think that she sees how awful everything was that Dany just did, and I do think she's gonna go for Dany now. I do. I mean, that was fucking crazy. And at one point towards the end, it was like she's just lighting everything and everyone on fire, and I don't even think that she gives a shit if her own people die. Okay, I'm scrolling back up for a second. Hi, Ramona. You said, well, one word to describe that episode, Dracarys. Yeah, so for some reason, my TV is not saying what the name of the episode was, but that would be pretty awesome if it was called Dracarys. Cameron says Clegane Bowl. Yeah, what the fuck? Okay. The Hound in the Mountain, like we knew it was coming. I was not expecting the Mountain's helmet to come off to see, and I laughed so hard because he looked like a really huge fat Varys. But he's like, I mean, we know that I can't think of his name, but we know the guy like did a lot of experiments on him, obviously, to like get him to be alive, but he was not gonna die, like, at all. And I'm like even suspect that he might have survived that big fall in the fire just because. I'm kidding, but that was insane. And when he was poking his eyes out, oh my God, it was so awful. It was so, Qyburn, thank you. Yeah. When he like threw Qyburn down and he was dead in an instant, I was just like, yes. And then Cersei just fucking walked by like, I'm not a part of this. Oh my God. It was honestly sad because I was really like, I knew he wasn't going to survive, but in the back of my mind, I was just slightly hopeful that the Hound would like that he would prevail and survive, but no, I kind of figured they would both die. It's really sad though. Hi, Andrea. Happy Mother's Day to you too. Hi, Mitch. Steven, I blame Sansa. If she didn't blab John's secret to everyone, then Daenerys wouldn't have gotten pissed off. You know, I do agree that Sansa should not have promised to keep a secret and then go and blab it to everyone. At the same time, though, I do agree. I feel like everyone should know that Jon is who he is. Yeah. I'm not on Daenerys' side at all. I mean, Daenerys chose to do all of that. Like, you can't blame Jon or Sansa for Daenerys choosing to burn everyone to the ground. She didn't have to do that. Let's see. Hi, Carlos. No, Blonde PT says Jon definitely wasn't behind that BS. No. He tried to stop everyone. And it was like you could see... I love the moment when everyone threw their swords down and like it was like Tyrion was so hopeful, and then the bell rang and you were like, yeah, this might actually work. And then but seeing Jon, like you can tell that he was struggling too, because he wanted, he wants to serve his queen, but then he was not down with what she did at all. And I think, like, obviously I think it's going to be like Arya. He's not going to be with her after seeing all of that, all of the destruction that she did. And honestly, like I kept saying in the episode, that all she had to do, if she wanted, if everyone surrendered, whatever, she still could have gotten to Cersei. She still could have gone straight to the tower that Cersei was in, with the Red Keep, whatever, and burned that fucking thing to the ground. Like, she was literally like zigzagging across the entire city, making sure everyone fucking died. And it was so unnecessary. It really was. I feel like she still could have gotten her point across. She still could have killed Cersei, and she didn't have to fucking burn everything. Ugh. It's awful. Yeah, and the Jaime, we got to talk about Jaime and Cersei. Give me 1 second because I want to read your comments real fast. Tyler, it's 97 says, Queenslayer, please. I honestly tried to give her the benefit of the doubt even after Varys was executed. I'm pretty sure the slaughter of innocents wasn't what Missandei meant. Yeah, I agree with you on that as well. I think Missandei of all people would not have wanted to witness what Arya witnessed and seen all that at all. Thank you, Danny. Thank you. You think Jon is going to kill... Ramona says, I think Jon is going to kill Danny, not Arya. One of them for sure is. I feel like Arya... that's on her mind, but I could see it going the way of Jon too. Definitely. Mad Axeman says, if I can't have the throne, nobody can. Danny. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so let's talk real quick about Cersei and Jaime, because I'm actually extremely pissed off. That was the one thing in this episode that I'm not cool with. I'm very upset about. In my mind, Jaime was going back and he was going to kill Cersei. In my mind, and what I wanted desperately to happen was that for it to be like a ruse, and for him to go back on the pretense of saving her or whatever, and then killing her at the last minute to stop all of it. Obviously, as the episode progressed, I realized that what I really wanted wasn't gonna happen. I don't know why, but I sort of felt that, I mean, I'm just really upset about it. I'm having a hard time finding words. I guess what I've said multiple times was I really liked Jaime, especially once he left Cersei and went to Jon's army and to Daenerys's army, and was basically like on their side. Like, he didn't agree with Cersei. He didn't agree with what she was doing, how she wasn't going to help, and that sort of thing. Obviously, we know that he loved her. But when he went to Winterfell and he went there, and especially like with Brienne and everything, I just had hopes that he would go back to end it all by killing Cersei. I honestly, like, I thought he had changed. And maybe that was me being completely naive, but I really thought and wanted it to be that he had changed. So then I kept hoping as soon as he finally found. Now I knew when him and Euron fought and Euron stabbed him that he would probably die anyways, but I was still kind of hopeful that he would get to Cersei and still kill her. I guess I'm just totally crazy. Or I wanted it so bad that I couldn't see anything else happening. But the fact that they were down there together and hugging in their last moments, like, it upset me so much that it was very clear that he chose Cersei and he was going to die there with her. And I don't know, like, and I didn't feel like there was any justice in Cersei's death. After everything she's fucking done, she was just crushed with rocks. And I agree, somebody just said that you tend to not, let me see if I can find it real fast. Oh yeah, so Tyler97 says, what about Jaime and Cersei? I have a tendency to not believe a death until I see bodies, but. So I was wondering the same thing because I just felt like it was way too easy. It was like, you know, a tender moment between the two, but I hated, if that is indeed how they both died, I fucking hate it. I'm so mad. I just wanted Cersei's death to give some kind of justice for every shitty thing she's fucking done in all the seasons. I just wanted it so bad. And I hate that Jaime died there with her, hugging her. It just makes me so upset. Okay, what did you guys think about that? Was it a good way for Jaime and Cersei to go out? Did you hate it as well? Let me know. Steven says, do you think we will see Bronn in the last episode and what his role will be? You know, they kind of left it open and hanging with Bronn, so I feel like we should see him. If we don't see him, that would be kind of fucked up because his story's not over yet. He was waiting to see who came out on top. So I feel like we should see him. Ramona says, I wanted Jaime to be Arya. I was hoping when he hugged Cersei, the stab would come. I didn't even think about it being Arya, but when they were hugging, I was saying the same thing. I was like, oh my God, please kill her. Please kill her. Please do it. But, yeah, that would have been so good too. See, I mean, Jaime could have died like on the way to get Cersei and Arya found his face, and I don't know if that's how that works, but it would have been really awesome. Way better than how it really happened. Makes me mad. Andrea says, I'm a sucker for small, quiet moments. I loved when Arya said very so softly, Sandor, thank you. Using his first name and her gentle tone felt so sincere. I really like that too, especially because in that moment, he did save her. And it meant a lot because they'd been through so much together, and that he was essentially saving her, you know? And it clicked for her that it wasn't what she really needed to do, even though she wanted it so bad. It was really sweet. And I think she also knew that was going to be the last time she saw him. I'm really sad. I'm really sad that he died. Sorry, I'm trying to read your comments real fast. Manhammer says, the hound is dead and I'm dead inside. Oh, he was a true hero. If only he could have stayed alive. Yeah, so it looks like a lot of you agree with me that you hated the Jaime and Cersei end as well. I really hated it. Ugh. Steven says, the one thing the last 8 years proved was that Daenerys was the bigger threat than Cersei. Yeah, you know, in Daenerys' early years, I was really hopeful and really, like, it always seemed that the throne was so far away for her. And I always hoped that she would get it. And then, of course, when the Jon reveal came, because I have always liked Jon more, really, I, of course, want him on the throne, especially because he doesn't want it. That makes me want him to be on the throne even more because, but the way he was acting, especially in this episode where he was just so honorable and like, that's my queen and she can do whatever she wants, even when Varys was trying to, you know, warn him or whatever. I hated that moment. I hated that Jon was acting just like Ned, you know, that so honorable, so like, I'm serving my queen. And it actually made me worried for Jon. I thought he was gonna fucking die. I don't know though. Like, yeah, Blonde PT says Jon better watch out. His queen knows Jon is her biggest threat. I think she'll try to kill Jon. Dude, I wouldn't put it past her. I honestly wouldn't. I mean, she wants it so bad. Let's see. I just saw a comment about Yara and then I lost it. Oh, Nola says, I'm interested if Yara will appear in the next show. Dude, how long is the next episode supposed to be? Because I feel like there's so much that is not even like able to fit in one episode. Like, there's still next episode. I only saw the one commercial, so I don't know if there's like gonna be another one or not. But all we see is Daenerys there at King's Landing still with her army, and it looks like shit's gonna go down there. But we still have, we still have people waiting back in Winterfell. We have Sansa, like we have Sansa's story to wrap up. You know, we have Yara still over there. But I mean, I feel like her story is not as big, where I suppose if they left it out, it wouldn't be, you know, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But it is just really interesting that I feel like there's still so much more to happen that, Danny says it's 81 minutes. Damn, that's a lot. I don't know. There's a lot. I don't know. I'm having anxiety over next episode because I don't see how they can possibly fit it all in. Hi, James. Yeah, I was just talking about that. It doesn't feel like we can fit everything in one more episode. Okay, I know I'm missing some stuff. What else have we not talked about yet? It's a lot. I didn't take any notes while I was filming, because like I normally do, because I was so intent on watching it. Yeah, the Jaime and Tyrion scene. You know, the fact that Tyrion was like willing to make that move and let Jaime escape in order to try and save all of those people. Like, he has such a good heart, and he knew that if it didn't work out, or even if it did work out, that Daenerys would know it was him and would have him killed. And he was willing to do that in order to save all of those people. I read, and I feel like it was like I feel like it was a spoiler, but it wasn't posted that way as if it was a spoiler. But I was on Twitter, and Stephen King wrote, like, Stephen King of all people was like, what if a little man with a big heart ended up on the throne in the end? And I was like, I've been thinking about that ever since I read that comment. And I was like, surely Stephen King doesn't know the spoilers for Game of Thrones, but fuck, like, that's all I can think about now is Tyrion getting the throne. And I don't really like it, but I almost felt like in this episode they were setting him up for that. Like, he's he's the one who has all of the innocent people's interests at heart and stuff, and he doesn't want the throne either, and I don't know, but I can't stop thinking about it now. Okay. Steven says, I wonder if Daenerys is going to try to burn Jon with Drogon and Arya, sorry, or someone comes in the nick of time and kills the dragon. What do you think? Dude, I can't imagine that she would. I mean, I feel like if it came down to it, she would kill Jon, but I don't know. Like, I just can't even picture her trying to execute him with Drogon. For one, I don't think Drogon would do it because Drogon knows he's a Targaryen. I feel like Drogon wouldn't do that. I don't know though. What I do know is that I want to see Arya with a different face on. Now that you guys brought that up, I feel like we are at least owed that one more time. So I would really like to see something along those lines happen in the last episode. I don't know how, but it would be really great to see that one more time. I was really pissed about Varys too. So we saw Varys in the episode writing out the scrolls, the letters, saying that Jon was the true heir and that he was Rhaegar Targaryen, and or not Rhaegar. Wait, is that no? Not that he was Rhaegar. Excuse me, that he was Rhaegar's son, Aegon. But did he actually get any of the scrolls sent out? Because that was earlier in the episode, and we saw the little girl who was his little bird. And then later we see him writing more scrolls. And what was the significance of him taking his rings off and putting them in the cup as well? That's what I was interested in too, because I feel like in that moment he knew he was going to die, and so we wanted to make sure like his rings and stuff were there. I just thought that was so interesting. As well as he burnt that last piece of paper and then so he set the scroll on fire, put it in the little bowl, but then he put the lid on, meaning the fire would go out almost immediately when you cut off the oxygen. So I'm curious if that scroll actually burnt up all the way. And I know he took his rings off because he knew he was going to die, but it just felt really like, I don't know. It felt like there was something else behind it, but I could be wrong. Either way, it would be interesting to know if he actually got any of those scrolls sent out, or, or if he didn't. Or if he was killed first by fucking Daenerys and her dragon. I go back and forth too, because like when I see Drogon, like I have serious, like I love Drogon, and I was like, that dragon better not die. But then at the same time, I'm like, Daenerys can go fuck herself, because I'm really pissed off right now. So I'm loyal to her dragon, not to her. Oh my gosh, James, are you telling me that you're watching the last season of Game of Thrones before you're watching all of the earlier seasons? How do you even know what's happening? Damn, that's intense. Yeah, okay. So, Ramona, you also said you were upset about Varys. He was one of your favorite characters, even though you knew it was coming. And I also knew that he was going to die. Obviously, Melisandre predicted it a long time ago. Or I guess it wasn't really that long in timeline sense. But I knew he would die. I was just like, I'm pissed that it was by her. And honestly, I was upset that Tyrion told Varys, and Tyrion knew what Varys was going to do, okay? Tyrion knew. Let's not pretend that Tyrion didn't know that Varys was going to fucking go and tell everyone. And then, When he does, Tyrion's like, oh, I better go save my ass. And he fucking tattles and goes and tells Daenerys that Varys did that. Like, what were you expecting? And why do that in the first place? It felt like a fucking trap. Like, I don't know. It really made me mad at Tyrion, because I've pretty much always liked Tyrion. And it was really fucked up what he did. And I don't know if you guys agree or disagree or what, but I just felt that in telling Varys, he absolutely 100% knew that there was going to be no way Varys was going to keep his mouth shut. He intended for Varys to spread it around. And maybe Tyrion was questioning his loyalty to Dany at the time as well, and he just needed to tell Varys and talk it out. But honestly, like, to then go and tell Daenerys, like, Varys is telling everyone, like, you fucking know what's gonna happen. He knew she was gonna kill him. Like, I don't know. I felt like that was super awful of him. Dany says, what if Jon pulls a Dracarys on Dany? That would be interesting for sure. But that is Drogon's mom. So I don't think that would happen. I really don't. I don't think Drogon would turn on Daenerys. Drogon might not be willing to kill another Targaryen, but I don't think Jon could turn Drogon against his mother. Yeah, Israel Lacey says, I no longer have any respect for Dany for killing innocent people. I hope her time on the throne is short. Yeah, I feel like she still could have, like I said earlier, I don't know if you caught it or if you were on or not, Israel, but I said that I felt like if Daenerys felt in that moment when everyone was surrendering and the bell rang, and you could tell that she was struggling with that, along with her desire for revenge against Cersei, that she still could have gone right after the Red Keep and burnt that to the ground. Minimal casualties of innocent people. Yes, there would be innocent people around that would die, but she fucking burned the entire city. Like, she wanted to burn the people. And that is where I'm not okay with that at all. Like, that is fucked up. How are you ever supposed to rule? I mean, I guess you can rule, but you're just going to be just as awful as Cersei was, or anybody else, or your father, because nobody's going to fucking like you. I don't know. But she knew that. She knew in that moment earlier when she was talking to Jon that she didn't have anyone that loved her there. So, I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you, Maritza. Maritza says they should have made the season 10 episodes at least. There's so much more story to tell. I do feel like it's going to be cut short. Honestly, I feel like there's a lot more that they're going to need to fit in next episode. That it's going to wrap up really, really quickly, I feel like. Too quickly. She did look crazy. I was thinking that too. She looked very sick. And she had like really dark, hollow eyes, and I mean, she was already pale, but she looked even more pale. All right, you guys, what else should we talk about before I get off of here? Let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to get off and go edit my video. Predictions for next week? How can I even begin to predict anything for this show? I swear. You know what? As much as I want Jon to get the throne in the final episode, I I I I feel like after reading that comment about Tyrion getting the throne, even though it was just someone's opinion, I'm like, this could actually happen. Like that could actually happen. But ultimately, like, what I want to see is I want Jon on the throne. I really do. I know he doesn't want it, but ultimately I want him on the throne. God, predictions, like, I think Daenerys is gonna die somehow, or I do think Daenerys is gonna die. I don't think she's gonna survive. Yeah, okay, so Bobby says, what's the deal with Arya and the mythical looking horse? I was saying the same thing. I was a bit confused at that at the end, how slow motion it was, that I felt like there was some kind of big significance that I was missing. I was actually hoping that you guys would know. I honestly don't know what that was about. I felt like it was some sort of sign for her, you know, but I don't know what it was, unfortunately. Israel says, wouldn't it be something that at the end of the Game of Thrones, the person on the throne pulls off a mask? Like if it's Arya. Yeah, I don't know. Dude, I would love it if Arya was the one who, I'd be okay with her being on the throne too. I don't want Sansa to be on the throne at all. I feel like, even though I wanted everyone to know about Jon, I feel like you don't make promises like that to your family, especially, and have no intention of keeping them whatsoever. Like, she didn't even hold that secret close at all. She just, like, knew that secret for, like, 2 minutes and walked and went and told someone. So, I don't know. Oh, Ramona says, wasn't that the horse she had with the hound when they were traveling to the wall? I guess it could be. Was she, you know what? I wasn't paying attention to the horse. So that would be interesting if it was her horse that had survived and, like, come to her. I don't know. It's really weird. It meant she didn't have to walk back to Winterfell. I don't think she's going back to Winterfell yet. I feel like her new mission, instead of killing Cersei, is to go after Daenerys. I do. I don't know if she'll actually do it, but Steven says Arya wears Cersei's face and it confuses Daenerys, and then it gets Arya close enough to Daenerys. Maybe. That would be weird. I guess she would have to find Cersei first, though, right? Maybe Cersei's not really dead. Maybe they're just trapped under there. You think Bran will wind up there? You know, it's so interesting because everybody's back at Winterfell. So, like, how are they going to then get to King's Landing to be on the throne? So if Bran ends up on the throne, that literally means that Jon would have to die, Daenerys would have to die, right? I mean, he doesn't even want it. I don't know. But where does he play into all of that, too? Like, I feel like we have to see him again. Oh, okay. Carlos says the horse was the one who was owned by the head of the Golden Company. Okay. I still don't know what significance it was. So, okay, I thought that the child, so Nola says, what was up with the woman and the child helping Arya, humanizing Arya? So we saw that little girl. I thought that the little girl, tell me if I'm wrong, but I thought that little girl was Varys's little bird. But then we saw her, but then it didn't really make sense because then we saw her at King's Landing, like she lived there. So but now that I think about it, it didn't make sense. But during the episode, I felt like they looked a lot alike. So I thought it was the same little girl. But we see that little girl throughout the episode too. Oh my God, I just got it. The little girl was holding a white horse toy. Right? Who's still watching this? I know you guys are leaving. But the little girl was holding the toy, and it was a white horse. And then the white horse came to Arya. Who's on here to hear that? Tell me if that sounds right. Tell me that you guys are still here and you heard me come up with that. The little girl had a toy horse, a little white toy horse. And then when Arya looked up, after she saw that the girl had died and was holding the horse, then, woo, I feel so smart right now. Then she looked up and there was an actual white horse. I feel so smart. Man, Game of Thrones is like hard sometimes. You really have to think about it. Okay. I'm glad we figured that out. Danny says Bran loves his wheelchair. He don't want the throne. That's true. Ezreal says a faceless man winds up on the throne. That's what I meant by the person pulling off the mask. Oh, I got it. Jackin. Yeah. That would be really interesting. No, she was definitely holding the toy horse before. I think I more specifically saw it when Arya was trying to pull her off her mom and get her mom up. A sign from the old gods and the new. Yes. A sign to get on the horse. I'm glad we figured that out. I honestly, because it was puzzling to me that they spent so much time with Arya at the very end of the episode. You're right about Bran. What do I win? I don't know. I'm glad we figured that out. Okay, you guys. Any last minute comments before I hop off of here? Yeah. I got you, Carlos. I'm glad we all figured that out. It makes me feel better because I really was like completely baffled by the end of the episode and I felt really stupid. I'm going to have to go back. I've only watched this latest season once, so I need to go back and rewatch all of these episodes, I feel like, because there's so much happening in every episode. It's hard to catch every little thing and to know what you're saying. Thank you, Ramona. So last week when I was editing my reaction video, I edited it for like 3.5 hours. And then I was laying on the couch while I was editing and my computer, I think, overheated. My laptop overheated because it was sitting on my lap, like on a blanket. And all of a sudden it just turned off, like just went dead. Like the battery was dead, but the battery wasn't dead. And I lost like over half of the work that I had done editing. And I was so angry, I almost didn't post at all. And then I had to go back and re-edit. I had to delete, like, basically it wouldn't load off my, it's hard to explain, but it wouldn't load off of my camera. And so I had to go back and delete like everything and go back and re-edit, and it sucked. So I'm hoping to avoid that problem tonight. But it feels weird that this is going to be the end of Game of Thrones. Like, one episode left next week, and then we have a break a little bit. When is Fear starting? Fear starts in what? Does it start in June, I think? Maybe. Tyrion Lannister did throw his friend under the bus. You're right. Thank you. June 2nd. Okay. So we really don't have that long. We have like a, what is it? Like a, I don't have a calendar in front of me, like a 2-week break, 1-week break. And then Fear starts. Do you guys all watch Fear as well? I'm excited for Fear. I'm excited for Dwight. And I am really excited for Daniel, as long as they don't kill him again. Should we go ahead and keep these live chats going for Fear after the episode? Typically, I do just a review video for Fear, but let me know if you guys like these live chats and want to keep doing them. I saw the Fear the Walking Dead teaser that I think you're talking about, where they were standing there and they were all like showing their weapons in like a semicircle, and then the kids showed up and handed him back his cowboy hat. It was really cheesy. I don't know if there was a different commercial you're talking about, but I laughed at that one. I mean, like, I'm kind of okay with it. Like, I'll watch it. Fear hasn't been my favorite for a while, but I enjoy it enough to watch and talk about it. Bobby says, what was the plan for Bran Stark? He's a three-eyed raven. He doesn't need a plan. He's going to go, like, find a tree somewhere with his wheelchair and live out the rest of his life seeing everything. I don't have any idea. Honestly, like, Game of Thrones is one of the hardest shows for me to predict. Like, I feel like I never have any idea what's going to happen. Sometimes I can kind of get a feel for, like, who's going to die, but I honestly, like, dude, final episode, I have no idea. I have no idea. I feel like the fighting is mostly done, so I can't imagine a lot more people are going to die. But I do kind of hope that Dany does. I know that's controversial. Not everyone's going to agree with me. Yeah, Kelvin says, so I guess nobody wins the who gets to kill Cersei pool. I'm so upset. I'm so upset over that. Like, she can't just get to die hugging her favorite person. Like, that fucking pisses me off that they just were allowed to die down there together. Ugh. So upsetting. Okay, you guys, I'm going to take off. This has been really fun. I will see you next week. We'll do these live chat next week as well after the final episode, where we can finally talk about who sits on the Iron Throne. Good, James. I'm glad that you like these chats. I'm really glad. I feel really good about them. I've always wanted to do them, but the thought of them made me uncomfortable. But I'm really glad I did it for Game of Thrones, because I feel like it's going to be a really good thing for once Walking Dead comes back. I will say that I get to watch Game of Thrones at 6 Pacific time, which normally for like Walking Dead, I have to watch it at the real time at 9. But I got AMC Premiere, and halfway, like the last, not even halfway, like the last 2 episodes of The Walking Dead, I realized that they post it on AMC on their website, on AMC.com or AMCTV.com, whatever. They post it at 6 o'clock. So when the East Coast is watching it live, it's actually posted here on the West Coast on AMC.com at 6 o'clock. And I didn't realize that until the very end of last season. So if they do that if they do that for this coming season for Fear and for The Walking Dead, then I should still be able to do these live chats right after. Because otherwise, if I have to watch it at 9, that'll be like, you guys will watch it. I feel like most of you are probably on the East Coast. You guys will watch it, and then you'll have to wait another 3 hours for me to get on to live chat. And I feel like nobody's going to be up that late. But hopefully I'll be able to watch it at 6. Okay, you guys, good night. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. It's been really fun. Oh, thank you, Israel. You guys, you don't know how much that means to me. It really does. I'm so happy. It makes me so, so happy. And you guys are so nice. I love it. Okay, you guys, I'm really gonna go. It's hard because I keep reading your comments. I keep saying I'm gonna go, and then I keep reading comments. Okay, bye. I'm gonna go edit my reaction